where do we start with this game?
Well, it sets it up nicely for Paris, doesn't it?
Of course. And we'll be looking ahead to the second leg later on.
But Real Madrid.
I mean, it's kind of role reversal to an extent from last year, where, in terms of scoreline, where PSG were cruising and tried to sit back and got pasted by Barcelona. It was embarrassing. It's completely the opposite now. They've got to obviously play with their head, but they've got to play a really attacking game. So it's all set up. But when you're trying all the flicks and tricks in the second half when the game's not won, you're taking a chance, and that's what they did.
This is the thing, because if you didn't see the game, you look at 3-1, you think, wow, you know, Real Madrid turning it on once again in the Champions League. And as much as they did, though, and as resilient as they were in the second half, in the latter stages, for much of it, it was really, you know, 10 men behind the ball and defending.
It was, and it was a sort of last-ditch sort of tackle and block, and things were just not happening for PSG, and everything was happening defensively for Real Madrid that they were able to get on the end of blocks or what have you. The problem with PSG is very simple. See, over the course of the season, they don't get tested. They don't. And so now when you start doing your flicks and tricks that you're referring to, Craig, now, where's the substance to your game when Real Madrid is absorbing pressure, but it's still Real Madrid and it's still the Santiago Bernabeu? The flicks and tricks are all cute and it's all very exciting and it's all very entertaining, but if it's not productive in the end, then it doesn't do anything for you. If there's no substance behind those flicks and tricks, then that doesn't do anything for you if you're PSG. And so you let Real Madrid hang around. And you don't let a team like Real Madrid with that sort of talent have an opportunity. When there are chances to be taken, you must take those chances, because now you kind of blinked and you're down 3-1, and now all sorts of doubts start creeping in at PSG, because you start wondering, wait a minute, are we as good as we think we are? Because clearly on the night, we showed we were good enough, but we didn't score the goals. And now we're trailing, and how do we get over this on the return leg?
Rabiot kind of summed it up after the game. He said it's all well and good putting 8 goals past Dijon, but it's matches like this that you have to stand up and be counted.
Well, you know what? You've got Mbappe, Cavani and Neymar, who have been getting pats on the back all season, how great they are. How Mbappe's an up-and-coming player, how Neymar's fantastic. Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't see Neymar sticking his boot on his head at the end of this game. And I'll tell you, he absolutely deserves all the stick in the world. You talk about, the guys are talking about flicks and tricks with no substance. Well, I'll tell you what, Neymar, he better have a good look at himself in the mirror after this game, because that's what he was doing, showboating. Because there was nothing else. You know, it's okay, as you said, playing against Dijon and winning 8-0 and running past 2 and 3 defenders and sticking it in the top corner. But when you're playing against better players, if you think you're going to start sticking boots on your head and nutmegging people and making them look stupid, well, I'll tell you what, that front three, they better all of them have a good look, because not acceptable what they produce.
Well,
with the amount of ball that Rabiot and Verratti in the middle of the park gave them, they were shocking.
Well, they've got a platform to put it right, haven't they?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, it's not dead. They have a platform to show what they're made of in Paris, and it's doable. With the chances they created in the Bernabeu with the Real Madrid defence, it is certainly doable. But they've got to... I mean, there was a 3-minute spell in the second half that killed them. 83 minutes, 2-1. 86 minutes, 3-1. He took Cavani off, which was a lot strange, particularly when you saw Cavani's face. Because when you saw some of the balls coming in the box in the last 15, 20 minutes, they didn't have anybody there. Then he brings Draxler on for a central midfielder, and all of a sudden they're 3-1 down. So a lot of thinking to do for the coach.